My alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. I guess we're literally officially on Emmy route now. Class is still quite far off, and I'd agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. We should totally be swimmers instead, just saying. A cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew in the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What, this some sort of joke that Emmy's playing on me? Would that surprise me, really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a trepidation as the track comes through to view. You're late. It would seem that Emmy's already here. What a leaf. Not according to my watch. We're both early, in fact. You got me there. Emmy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. I'd never make someone get up early for nothing. Plus, Rin owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up. I knew it. Nice to know Emmy's on my side at least. Emmy hops off the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything if you don't count my one stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay though, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emmy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Hisao. You got to hold it for longer than that. Oh, Emmy, why don't you show me how to hold it? I'm trying, it hurts a little. That's because you're out of shape. You've got some flexibility in you like this. Woo! Woo! To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless. Oh, God bless. But where's our image? Is that the sort of thing I should strive for? Damn. No image? Really? Ugh. Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. That makes no sense, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? That's 4 laps around the track, got it? That sounds fine to me. It shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. It wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a good pace, and I fall in behind her. Trying to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. We run the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I start to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never better. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then. No, don't. My heart. My heavy panting and wheezing makes a statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy smiles simply and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao. We'll stay at this pace. I get the feeling I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our 4th lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go. She takes off at blinding speed while I stubbornly stick at my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the back stretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it. I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning of my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps paces at me at around the second turn across the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. Nice. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest. Nah, I do it all the time. But my legs and chest are burning so bad I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. Kind of. You'd say so. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. It must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I've got a few sprints in. We should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out. We'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire, my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You put your hands behind your head, it makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. Ooh, there's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though that is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time I've gotten to the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerfully as I near her. Feeling better, right? Yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I've got to cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there'd be no getting back up. Sure, why not? Emmy got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upwards ever so slightly so I can catch a little mid-drift. Ah, the little belly! But her shirt's clearly tucked into her bloomers. I do my best to act a gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red shorts is rather arresting. So, how do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. That's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it's got something to do with adrenaline? Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. When she shrugs and grins at me. I actually don't remember. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? I don't know, Emmy. Why don't we find out together? I open my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she just said. Emmy watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Sorry, couldn't resist. You're just too easy. For you, I'll be as easy or as hard as you'd like. Why'd I agree running with you again? To see the bouncing, of course. Emmy just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh no, we better get a move on. Class is in an hour and I need to shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why need to see a nurse? Prosthetic legs, bruh. It's important to check for irritation. You know, for sweat or friction or anything. Normally I'll go after practice, but we're going to be doing these morning runs. I guess I'll see him twice a day. Wait, so Emmy has only started doing this run since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you, we can run later. Don't be silly, I've been meaning to start running in the mornings for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. What's up, Matsukasa? How you doing, dude? It's always hard to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, you know? So you'll be my running partner in the mornings. We both need to exercise so it all works out, don't you think? Perfect. I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's been pretty fun to hang out with. Doctor's orders. Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch, you know, food, eating, lunch. Where? Rooftop. Duh. When? Lunchtime. Why? To not die. Yeah, I sort of felt I needed to ask all three for completeness sake. Emmy laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hisao. See ya. With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she'll be going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of cold water nearly kills me. I manage to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart surprisingly feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel a bit like a wuss. I mean, at least I'd have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself that I realize I've only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap! No clothes! Class time! The hand of the clock finally sets me free of the tedium of another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's giving me a hell of an appetite. I'm down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some prepackaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep up on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyways. Of course they are. In fact, I think I saw Emmy along the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out the door for the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. What, you're gonna do a handstand, Rin? Don't think that's gonna be happening. What's that gonna accomplish? Things in the clouds. Couldn't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exacerbation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? It literally is. You may have a point, maybe sideways. Rin lays down on the bench to look up at the sky. I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off its hinges. Sorry it took me so long. There are a ton of people in line. Da, da, da. She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch? Sometimes, yeah, I have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I'd never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or if I'm witnessing the beginnings of a cat fight. The two girls stare at each other for a few tense moments, then break into smiles. Hey, Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtfully, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. At least she's as lost as I am. Hey, Sal, you're coming to the track meet, right? The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know? Honestly, Sal, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the mornings, you won't even show up to my track meet? Wasn't she the one who asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice. Wait. She beams at me if I agreed to give her $1 million. So you will come. Great. I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something afterwards. Yeah, food! No. Food, man. That's what we're here for. Girls second, food first. Maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Maybe I should stop talking to Kenji altogether. Still, I suppose I've got to show up now. I don't think I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I'd never hear the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot? Well, you won't forget to come, though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on the calendar. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, you know, unless time changes its course. It can do that? Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't come yet, but you never know. This time it's Emmy who gives a shrug. I suppose it can't be helped if that happens. Not unless you're a time traveler. You don't think that could actually happen to you? I don't think so. I don't think we do. Do we? I'm so yawny today. Rin shrugs again. That seems to be her default response to everything. Well, it's not like she can give thumbs up or anything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion. For Rin, this statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it though. Emmy merely nods. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapon against her. Your response is the sort of thing I expect from you, that's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Nah, it's just that your unpredictability is pretty predictable. Well, that is alright then. I don't get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two is far too interesting. Emmy looks up, a look of panic on her face. Oh no, I need to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had the time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers that line, like she's just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment. Sorry, Sal, but could you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? Sure thing, but I don't know if Rin really likes you calling her garbage. I usually clean up myself, but I gotta run. No problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems so preoccupied with not having arms. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup, and for some reason I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hei-chan. Yeah, I decided it's too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider. Oh, really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? What are you talking about? You're on the roof, right? With both Emmy and Rin, no less. You Casanova, you. We just had lunch, that's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. You're so adorable when you blush like that, Hei-chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There is no secret. Oh, so then everybody knows that you're dating two girls? I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and class starts. I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. It knows this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now let's see. What was I supposed to be doing again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight anyways. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, Reddit's offline and my favorite websites for drawings is slow today. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji unusually is out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up working for those two, and heaven only knows where everyone else is except for... I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emmy's probably down there. Oh, extra Emmy time! The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Hisao? Come to spy on me, have you? I gave a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything else better to do. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I think of who I could visit. She's the only waifu option on this route. So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I'll just go see Emmy, is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing of my own presence presents itself. I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding, just kidding. So you are down here to stalk me? Yes, I am. I was hoping to take some risque photos too. Would you mind stretching out a bit? Why would I stalk you anyways? It's not like I like you or anything, baka. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment. Well, you're not wrong, I suppose, but you forgot about the eating. I do that too, you know. Eating. Plus, I hang out with Rin sometimes, so I really might take some effort to stalk. What do you two do regularly anyways? You don't seem to have a lot in common. You know, arms, legs. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Like what? Emmy puts her hands on her head to one side as she's trying to remember what she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go shopping sometimes. I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl, but Rin? Is Rin a girl? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus, she likes the music store that sells all kinds of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps her focus. That makes a lot more sense. I see. Are there other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags a finger at me. A girl has her secrets. Now, why would I reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't know why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. That's the understatement of the year. So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you hang out with a lot of people. But I only think I've ever seen you with Rin. Yeah, the game's not ready to program that many things. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin. You just don't see me doing it because I'm not in their classes. Or not in your class. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. 'Cause she's fun? Emmy shrugs, looking at the moment very Rin-ish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yeah. I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And? That's why we're similar. You lost me. You know, she has no arms and paints. I have no legs and run. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reasons. You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art, is it? Let me think. Well, Rin explained to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed. Not surprising, I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She says we are both chased after an extreme. Like she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean slowed down by anything? You know, arms, legs. Emmy looks surprised and points at her legs. Because I'm a runner and Rin's a painter without arms. So we respect each other's determination. I'm never going to read the word determination the same way ever again. That's why we hang out. I think. Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but for Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about much. We just get along. I think that's really all that matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I'll ask it. So what got you into running anyways? Well, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner. As soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. His style is a bit more than... His style may be disabled more than just his heart. His heart may not be the only disabled thing in his body. Our own mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. A car accident, and that's how she lost her legs. I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I got a few more laps to run before I see the nurse. Awkward. It seems to me she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was in the morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't know much about her. I watch her run for a little while, then stand up and head back to my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waits to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning. Got it. Head back to my room. Homework beckons. Can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind's kept awake, staring at the ceiling and the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think about is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not used to my new surroundings, as I like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1. So maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up or for me to fall asleep. At this point, either option works. I find myself at the track, where for the first time, Emmy's not out running. I suppose it makes sense. It's too early, even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point, I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon. I know with an awful certainty that I'll get no sleep tonight. The sun's steadily straightening rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down a little. Emmy pounces on us as we wake up. Hey, wake up! What? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You gotta catch a cold. I rub my eyes and am confronted by Emmy, who bends me over. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. Can't sleep, watch the sun come up. It sounds like something Rin would say. I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes from waking up, if you know what I mean. Is it? I wouldn't know. Emmy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response. So, couldn't sleep it? Obviously you need to run you harder today. Even though I've only known her for about a week, this seems a very Emmish response to the problem. Hey, my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see a difference. If you had run enough, your brain would get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know my grades will be able to handle me getting tired of me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me up from the bleachers with surprising strength for someone her size. Come on, we got work to do. I don't know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, I obviously didn't get much sleep, and what sleep I was on the bleachers. Should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course we should be running. How else are you expected to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping in the bleachers, for heaven's sake. The best way to get that soreness out is to run a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. I get to my feet and hop to the track. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. Emmy and I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might be able to get used to this. Nice. You know, Hisao, it's not polite to stare. Sorry, you're just... nice, if you know what I mean. Emmy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a while, as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. She smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. If it's you, I don't mind. Honestly, you don't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. That's enough stretching, right? Emmy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretched? That's really how you tell. Well, I do feel up for a run, if that's what she means. I feel ready to go. Same as yesterday, okay? We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast, just worry about keeping the pace, got it? You're the boss. Emmy grins and we take off around the track. I think I'm gonna die. We're not even done with the first lap and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming in ragged gas. I can feel sweat pouring down my brow. We've only just rounded the second turn. Come on, Hisao. We've got 3 more laps to go. I can't do this. I think I might hurl. Somehow we're on the second lap. Emmy's not even sweating. How can she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. She's like a machine. 3rd lap. Almost there. Liar, we got another 2. Nothing can be done. I can't. Emmy whirls around and begins running backwards. Her face is a mask of anger that surprises me. Never say that. If you say that, you've already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it. Whoa, language. We're on the 4th lap now. She seems to really want me to keep going. Legs, move. I feel so sluggish. I'm in mud or molasses or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on. Final stretch. Give it all you got. I pump my legs as fast as they'll go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving. Somehow I finish. That's it, Hisao. I knew you had it in you. Anger Emmy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant, like she just won the gold medal or something. I stagger to stop and fall on my hands and knees, gasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has in a long time. Oh, we dead. This is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right there. Heart slows down. 2 hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. I look up and see Emmy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry. On your feet. Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way. Somehow I manage to stand up. I raise my arms above my head and they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy closes to me. While Emmy stays close to me. She's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible and say so. Emmy laughs. But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? Not if I die. Small grin I felt my face earlier hasn't left. What if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. As soon as it becomes apparent I'm not going to suddenly keel over, Emily takes off on her sprints. Don't know how hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than I am. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but she's a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time I noticed her breasts. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seems to be running harder than she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth suddenly opens so she can no longer get enough air through her nose. As she passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, her lips slightly parted. She looks beautiful. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Hisao. There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seeming embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that, I just can't stand to see people give up. Especially about things like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you were saying it. That's what it's all about. Saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot, I've been showing you that you're alive. Showing me I'm alive? I didn't know it had to be so painful. But it does feel pretty good, despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and the third day is easier. You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty so you'll never get ahead. Or you'll never get ahead. You'll just get complacent and you'll lose a sense of accomplishment. So I'll have to run more than just 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes Emmy and her face lights up. Got it. Got what? Got milk. You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything. When? Right now, of course. You'll need to shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she pulls me along with her. Let's shower together. Shower with your nurse simulator. I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to be completely ignoring me. You've got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I could hear you coming a mile away. It's because it goes clank, 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 clank. Somehow it didn't feel like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly it seems like he notices me. Ah, Hisao. What brings you here? Hisao's officially joined me on my morning runs. I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought he might need to visit you so he doesn't die. The nurse raises an eyebrow in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of my job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hisao, let's have a look at you. Lift your shirt up. I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in a room with me and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy, I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly. So do I. You're an asshole. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay? I begin to stammer. It's not really a big deal. She doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door. The nurse is laughing and he watches her go. Still got it. He laughs again like he's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've got going on for a while now. Well, that sounds incredibly sinister, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. Sounded a lot worse than it actually is. Sounds very inappropriate. No, you're right. I should fill you in so you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here. I got hired the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? You know, the one where she lost her legs and her dad died? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It killed her and it nearly killed her and it succeeded. Oh my god. Damn, I called it. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, it's not my place to say anyway. We've known each other for quite some time. So we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. I'm like 40 years old. Stop playing kids games? No. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I've been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts is still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Hisao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You can't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to the point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it all in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they met her prosthetics. What's up, Jake? How you doing, dude? That's a real concern. That's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough of that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think you're up to something. As she says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He should really have heated it up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Hisao. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? Except for, like, when I almost died again. The nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much, and of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately. I put my shirt back on, and nurse leans out of the doorway to call in Emmy. Oh, what took you so long? Now I'm going to be late. The nurse gives an significant look. I was seducing Hisao. Ooh. I'll play that game. What? Come on. What have I told you about seducing my friends? I expect Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed. The nurse seduces a lot of boys. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, although I fear young Hisao may have lost to the female gender forever. Maybe lost to the female gender forever. Sometimes you go for a checkup, sometimes you end up gay. It happens. Not likely. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to say it out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regard me for a moment before laughing. Told you he was funny, didn't I? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Sally, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class, don't you? No, really, you should shower before class. Crap, he's got a point. Look, thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's clothes. As I head down the hallway, I can just hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. And the rest of the day is not important. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Save, new save. Woo! Ugh. Da 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm hungry and I want food.